Hi everyone, welcome back to DailyMix. Today we're going back to basics. Tons of you have requested to know how to use makeup brushes. So we are going to run you through the best ones and what they do.
Okay guys, so I'm going to kick us off with foundation brushes. There are so many to choose from and people are like, which one do I need? Everyone does a little bit of a different job. I'm going to start off with this one, which is a buffing brush. Now, a buffing brush is beautiful with most foundations, pretty much all foundations, and it will really buff a product into the skin. So it will give you a very airbrushed finish. It's not too much coverage as well, but you can build with this brush. Next, I'm going to introduce you to the stippling brush. The stippling brush will give you a much lighter coverage. It is great if you use a foundation that has light reflecting pigments in, because the more you buff it into the skin, the more it shows them. It's also duo fibre, so it picks up the product here, and then as you buff it into the skin, the black hairs buff it in a little bit more, so they make it more airbrushed onto the skin. And these ones are all cruelty-free synthetic brushes. Lastly, for foundation, the one that we first saw when foundation brushes came on the market is a normal foundation brush, a flat foundation brush. They come in different sizes, and this one will give you a little bit more coverage.
Next, let's talk about concealer. I've got two here that I really like, and I use them in different areas on the face. This one is actually an eyeshadow brush. It's called a Deluxe Crease Brush, and really, you use it through the crease of your eye. But because it goes into the orbital bone, it also goes under, so all the way around. So I use this as a concealer brush just underneath the eyes, and it fits perfectly. This one is a Trish McEvoy brush, and I use this when I need more coverage somewhere. So say I have red cheeks and I want to put a bit of concealer there, I'll use this, or just on the forehead or on the chin.
A little bit like a mini foundation brush,
exactly,
really.
Yeah, I love that one. Then if you have a tiny blemish to cover, then you might want something like this. This one is a detailer brush. It's a tiny little brush that you can also use in other places on the face. I often use it as a lip brush. I also use it for blending eyeshadow just along the lash line, but it's brilliant for concealer because you can see it's just tapered there. So if you have a little blemish you want to cover, that's the one to go for. Okay, so here's two of my favourite eyeshadow brushes. This is the 217 from MAC, 239 from MAC. I use them in every single video. They're absolutely brilliant. This one I use for packing on product. So when I want a dark smoky eye, I'm going to use this brush to push it on. It's shorter than this one, so it's going to pick up a lot more product. It's also going to drop a lot less product than this one. So put it on with this one, blend with this one. This one you can see it's more splayed out. It's longer, it's fluffier, it's going to blend really well.
Then you have eyeshadow brushes that are slightly more precise, so slightly smaller. You've got, this is a MAC 219, and it's basically, I love it for getting right under the eyes and buffing in eyeshadow. Also, if you want a little bit of highlighter just in the corner of the eye, I also use this through my brow bone if I want to conceal. Really nice brush. You have an angle brush. Now, I use this for my eyebrows, so I can get a really nice precise shape for my brows. Also use it for liner. So those of you that aren't amazing at doing eyeliner, this is a great brush for you because you can use it to guide where you want your eyeliner to start. So from your, what's this called?
Waterline?
From your waterline. Going crazy. You can use it from your waterline to plot out where you want your eyeliner to start and then drag it, and you can even do pushing motions if you're not that comfortable with it.
I suppose for those that are a little bit more confident with their liner, and you've got these kind of fine eyeliner brushes. So these you would use in one sweeping motion across the lid.
Next we have a powder brush. Now we want to powder our foundation into place to make sure that it's going to stay all day. There's a few different types of powder brush you can choose from. I've got a multitask brush. It's not too big. I don't want a powder brush that is massive. So I'll just buff this all over the face and it will give me a nice even coverage of powder, loose or pressed. You've then got a duo fibre face brush. This one's lovely as well because it picks up much less product. So if you just want a minimal amount of powder, just where you shine, use this one just over those T-zone areas. It will work perfectly. You can also use a brush that's slightly smaller. This one is actually the contour brush. And I like it for getting right into the areas that you just want to powder under the eyes, even popping a coat of powder over your eyelids as well. So, or down the nose. That's perfect too.
I think you have to think about the order that you do your makeup in. Some people like to put their foundation on and then they like to set their foundation there and then. If you are one of those people, then you're going to want quite a big powder brush. If you're the kind of person like me that does your foundation, then your entire makeup then finishes with powder, then you're going to want a smaller brush that you can work around the areas so you're not messing up the work you've done.
Okay guys, so now you know how to use your brushes, let us tell you how to clean them once you have used them, because it's really important to clean them. How often do you clean your brushes, Sam?
My personal brushes?
Yeah.
Oh, probably once a week.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Well, actually I clean them every time I change my makeup look, so it depends what I'm doing. But I think once a week is fine.
Sometimes I don't even do it that often. Sometimes I'll leave it like 12 days or something before doing it. Really important when cleaning your brushes, get yourself a good brush cleaner. There's loads available now. Some have oil in as well, so this one doesn't actually. Some have oil in as well, so it takes longer for your brushes to clean afterwards. So do be careful which ones you go for, but the oil is great if you want a real thorough clean.
Some people use just neat alcohol. I'm not a massive fan of that because I actually think that over time it dries the bristles out, and then the bristles on your brushes break. So I wouldn't recommend that. So the quickest, easiest way to clean your brushes is to spot clean them. That's when you take a little bit of your brush cleaner and you pour it on to a cloth. Then you're going to take your brush and you are just going to move it in circular motions around on the cloth. Now, I actually really favour this method because it does mean that the ferrule never gets wet, which means your brushes are going to last and last and last.
So once you have cleaned your brushes, last thing you want to do is to stand it upright, because all the brush cleaner that's in there is going to sink through and it's going to wear away the glue that holds all the brush bristles together. So make sure you lay it down. Another thing that you can do, especially if you're a makeup artist, a great thing that we tend to do is once every few months give our brushes a massive clean. Maybe once a month actually. And I tend to use a really soft baby shampoo. And what do you use? Fairy liquid?
Fairy liquid. You want something that's antibacterial. That's the key ingredient there.
And give them a real deep clean and then leave them to stand as long as you don't need them for the next few days, because they will stay wet for a while.
But again, make sure you're not wetting this bit, okay? People always do that, don't they, when they do a deep clean? They put it in a big bowl of water and it goes, you know, water all the way up there. You only really want to do the bristles.
Yeah, and that's for a deep clean. Obviously, makeup artists, if you use your brushes on anyone, they have to be cleaned straight afterwards before you use them on anyone else. So I hope you found that interesting, and maybe you've picked up some new ways of using your brushes. If you have different ways that you use your brushes as well that we haven't mentioned, pop them in the comments so everyone else can learn from you as well.
Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any other brilliant videos on this channel, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Well, I might need to use your brush to blendage my side a bit.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Swaps.
Can I have concealers, please, sister?
Yeah, what do you want? NW30 NC20 mix?
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you're going to look better, because you, just go to me, you always look so lovely anyway. You are naturally beautiful.